Okay, ladies and gentlemen, series number 2, MarsBet versus Monte here at EPL. Season 15, still in the group stage, but now back to Group B. As I'm joined by JoyXD Try, and my name is Dodai.
With that, we are in MarsBet. They've only played one series so far in the entire Season 15, and they are a team we've seen more of, but in the recent times, especially, they've grown kind of inconsistent. And the last time I saw them play, it was mostly down to them having not really the best reads onto that new meta. This time around, they banned out that Mars first, which we both said is a good start. But yeah, I don't know. I think it really depends on MarsBet's draft, whether or not they really stand a good chance against Monte, because Monte are the stronger team going into this. I think we both agree on that as well. And yeah, as for Monte, a lot of their comfort heroes are strong again. That Juggernaut, that Drow Ranger, all of those 4 Protect 1 kind of agility carries are a thing. And speaking of 4 Protect 1, they already go for a defensive support to open up the draft with.
I wouldn't be surprised if we'd be starting to see those Lunas and those Drow Rangers for sure. But it'll boil down to, I guess, not just the draft, but in general, it does need to be, like, I mean, like, LeBron is just such a big brain when it comes to this game, but all in all, like, I think in terms of skill, these two teams are quite evenly matched. In the long term, we'll see what happens, but if Monte lose this, they're looking at elimination. And MarsBet, with only 1 mistake so far on the board, anything can happen with them, but honestly, I think they're quite evenly matched. I'm just going to reiterate on that, as MarsBet will open up with the Lion. Yeah, I mean, the full Ukrainian stack, fairly unknown people besides Crystallize and Eknart, in my eyes.
10 seconds, just long enough to regret every
But
choice you've made if
pretty
you were.
sure we are looking forward to, like, I'm looking forward to 3 games actually in this series, now that I think about it.
Could be. Infernal is one of the newer, or well, relatively unknown players that I am quite impressed with, I gotta say. He has been performing, albeit inconsistently, extremely well whenever he has those 1v5 carries that can leave the lane at 20 minutes and from there on out destroying their team in those fights, becoming that ball of death. He really likes that kind of playstyle. And yeah, we're gonna see what kind of Infernal hero is gonna get picked for him here. But I certainly have high hopes. I do think Monte are just slightly stronger, but it also depends on what MarsBet are picking up draft-wise. And I don't know. With that Lion, it's definitely looking good, though Shadow Demon, on the other hand, is fast enough to usually respond to that finger in time and prevent the finger stacks from actually being increased by the Lion.
We're starting in 5 seconds.
Yeah, Lion's relativity has been quite unquestionable in these times. I do prefer myself to Shaman. You know, just drop the bomb and get the hell out. But all in all, yeah, Lion's impact with the fingers and the stacks coming out from the fingers is just way too big.
Well, it really depends. During the laning stage, his impact nowadays is just way too big with the new and improved mana drain, of course. But he does need those stacks in order to keep the impact going, and I'm not sure if it's really gonna be that easy against Monte's Shadow Demon after the laning stage. Laning stage-wise, though, the Lion is definitely set to make a lot of space for his carry and to create a lot of farm opportunities, so I think in that regard it's definitely a nice and safe first pick, but the question is, what do they want to do with their draft here?
If I'm LeBron, I'm definitely looking at the Chen or the Enchantress.
They banned the Chen themselves.
So could be more the Enchantress route. Obviously.
They also instant banned on the side of Monte the Nature's Prophet instantly, because that would have been a great LeBron hero, but it's gonna be a Phoenix.
They'll stick with the team fight, setting themselves up for that. Good old Faceless Void, Lucas enjoys. We'll check his rate on the hero, I'm not so sure.
Decent synergy as well with that Lion, so
definitely,
you know, you got an Egg
play
Protector.
Yeah, I definitely saw him play it in like pubs, but I'm not so sure on his professional win rate. Oh, he rather enjoys his Terrorblade, Naga, Morphling. These are the top, and the Slark as well.
Yeah,
Faceless
Slark.
Void, 12 appearances, 6 wins, so it's 50-50 for him. But instant Faceless Void counter with the Snapfire right there.
And egg counter as well. That's an excellent egg hitter, a straight answer to the Phoenix. And it's decent against the Lion, just because it's kind of beefy and doesn't mind frontlining too much against the
With 10
Hex and the
seconds out.
stun.
Plenty of time to tell an announcer you love them if that's what's in your heart.
And honestly, who doesn't
5
like
seconds.
cookies?
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're with raisins. Screw raisin cookies. When
Yeah,
you think
raisin
it's
cookies
chocolate,
suck. Chocolate chip. Chocolate chip all the way, dude.
chocolate chip for life.
Yeah. And Oreos.
Oh, hell yes. And a Dragon Knight. He likes cookies as well.
Well, he likes even baking them with that breathe fire, so... Could be mid lane. Monte are not really giving us much. This could be mid lane, this could be off lane if necessary, but not many bursters in the
10
meta
seconds
yet.
left. Well, 8 now.
I think Queen of Pain
Personally-
comes to mind, but
5 seconds.
that's basically it.
I like it off lane with the Snapfire. Just Dragon Knight Snapfire, you have so much lane pressure, the carry isn't gonna be farming on the enemy side of the map. And yeah, then they got the mid for a later pick, can go for another egg hitter, can go for maybe a teamfight initiator. Puck curiously banned from the side of Monte, because that was a hero I was thinking was really good for them here.
Radiant's up.
Faceless Void.
And there's that Faceless Void you already predicted. With the Phoenix, it was kind of a matter of time. It is just such a strong synergy for those team fights. And with the Lion as well, Faceless Void set to have a great lane if the Lion is going to be put in that position 5. Which nowadays, more often than not, he is, I think, right?
5 seconds.
Maybe. Not so sure on that one.
I know it's definitely getting played as a 5 a lot more in like the high MMR pubs, but I'm not so sure if it's the same case in official matches. One way or another, MarsBet, they need some kind of a frontliner to create space for that Faceless Void, somebody who can actually apply a lot of pressure. So it's kind of a shame that the Dragon Knight has already been picked up by Monte, who with that have a ton of push paired with Snapfire. Yet another reason why I kind of want to see them lane, because then you know that Faceless Void's tower is just going to crumble in a matter of seconds, but that is a great amount of lane pressure and push, as well as huge team fight.
Doesn't necessarily zone out the DK from the mid lane, if it is mid lane.
Dyer gets the ban.
But definitely a significant amount of damage coming in as... I'm more feeling the Bat Rider on the off lane, Joe, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
It's just so good on the Faceless Void, yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're right in that.
Mitigating the turn rate and not being able to backtrack that easily is just so good.
Radiant gets the ban.
Even on 4,
Dragon Knight Snapfire is also sexy. One way or another,
Dragon
they
Knight
got a really
Snapfire
good
not
lane.
bad either, but all in all, Cookie on the Bat Rider and then just, synergizing with that, I think is just better.
I guess
all
they
in
can
all.
compensate for the Dragon Knight
10
mid
seconds.
by just having the Bat Rider come in for a gank after he's won his own lane.
5
That's
seconds.
So-
possible as well, so yeah, that's why you'd rather put it on the 4. Snapfire also likes to gank
Radiant's up.
in
Banning
general,
time.
but she is, the grandma is the slower pick out of the
And
2 for
Slark is
4.
gonna get banned out, sadly. I do love to see that Slark hero in officials. It's just so hit or miss.
Gotta check though those hero pools, of course, on our partner site on liverscore.live. You can check.
5 seconds.
You can check all the information on players'
Alright,
life
Dyer
stats,
gets the
of
ban.
course, and don't post live scores because our mods are absolute savages. Shout out to them, by the way,
We dino, we dance, all spoilers get banned.
for sure. Yeah, keep that in mind.
10 seconds left. Well,
And,
now.
well, the Morphling is the other ban from the side of
5
MarsBet,
seconds.
which
4,
once again, in my opinion, it just goes to show how they don't really have the best read on the new meta yet. Because I think, compared to the Morphling, if you're already going to go for a greedy kind of agility carry, a Drow Ranger would have been way huger here, and that hero is still in the draft. Because then you can silence the Void, you can silence the Keeper of the Light, you can prevent those X from coming out, and
I'm
yeah.
still looking at the Crystallized Luna. It doesn't have the best win rate, Only 6 appearances and 2 wins, but the tempo. I think, Joe, the tempo is just so much better with the Luna. The
Well,
speed.
yeah, it does what a Drow Ranger does, but faster, so it's not a
exactly.
bad hero either.
But Drow overall, that late game is just stronger. I will agree to that one, but
If they want to play it fast, a Juggernaut wouldn't be bad either, because they do have enough lockdown at this point, and the question is just how do they keep people burst during the lasso, during the Dragon Tails, during the cookies.
I just generally don't like Juggernaut into
10
Keeper. It just doesn't feel good for me in general. And then there's that Hex, the Solar Bind, all that jazz. It's just too much to handle.
Fair
oh no!
enough.
Like, how do you get into the fight? How do you get out of the fight? You need to buy Blink,
Radiant's up.
and it's just a weird option.
Vector.
They go for the global.
Man, I don't
They're
like it that
recently
much.
nerfed, and yeah, the damage output is just not there. Maybe Crystallize will have an interesting build here. There have been theories of maybe going for the phylactery build of all things, you know, on the Spectre.
Oh,
Just
what?
for yeah, because then you can go into Conda. That's just bonkers crazy. But, you know, the jump between the two, it's kind of steep, so instead of being absolutely online at 35, you're absolutely online at 40. And now there's a huge save coming out from MarsBet.
I love it from MarsBet. This is the
really
perfect last pick. It's an additional carry to kind of make up for Wish's Kotal falling off. 'Cause Keeper of the Night, not exactly the best late gamer, but who needs late game? If you got a Keeper of the Night to create space already, pick that Abaddon, make him a second carry from that off lane. And yeah, he's got that ultimate, which is just perfect to create space for the Faceless Void as well. I'm gonna go with MarsBet having the draft advantage on this one.
I'm kind of torn. Because I do like the amount of lockdown and the addresses to the egg. But the teamfight is not going to be super easy, and GeoZZ is definitely going to make MarsBet's life a living hell. But yeah, is Crystallize fast enough on the Spectre? Will he have enough time given to him by Moonlight and Infernal is my question.
Against the Evidence, it's gonna be hard, I think. The Curse is pretty decent against the Spectre, and you max the
it's
shield,
just
of
good
course.
Push. It's just good push, good damage. Yeah, you're kind of right. But
Most
barring that
importantly,
laning stage,
Abaddon is one of the few heroes with enough sustain build in, if he just goes for a little bit of mana regen or buys a lot of mangoes, to the point where he can ignore the dispersion and can still run down the Spectre. Because the shields, they give you the two things that dispersion kind of gives the Spectre as well, damage negation and damage. And you're gonna proc the shield even if Spectre refuses to attack you, simply because you're attacking the Spectre and get dispersion on from level 2 onward.
with the 5v5 smoke action is how we're gonna start off the game. I mean, barring the laning stage, I'm quite confident in Monte, so I think we're gonna be split for the first time today, my friend.
So you're gonna go with Monte on this one?
Yeah. We went for Crimsani twice, but look at the engagement right now. On Wish they go as the
Nice
Coddle.
jump on the Keeper of the Light, though the 3 and 4 man blood grenades are huge. Keeper of the Light is still going to be the first blood and will be secured by the Spectre no less. Phoenix still lighting people on fire as another blood grenade comes out, and that is all of them used, I believe, as Infernal being chased by everyone. A little bit more damage and he is gonna pop. Can they get at least him?
Nah, the Earth Spike did miss, so and diving under that tower is just not advised. Ill-advised, all in all. But Monte
Great
get
start
that
for
first
Monte.
blood.
Yeah, it couldn't be any better. Spectre and Dragon Knight still have time to get themselves to the base and right back to their lanes.
Look, here's the deal. They've got an ancient, and between you and me,
Though MarsBet, if they're smart, should get an extra rune out of this.
you get back.
Lion, he's going to
Smash
walk at
their
that one and should secure it. But Spectre secured the first blood, so I think they're happy all across the board for Monte still.
It kind of evens up the board once you get the 3 runes in exchange for the first blood. But Yeah, I mean, Crystallize will breathe easy for like the next minute and a half.
And that's really valuable with how strong the Abaddon is against the Spectre.
Still
He is a bit-
extremely curious about this laning stage. I mean, your two best players are on this safe lane if you're on Monte. As Infernal and Geozizi shouldn't be counted out. Look at Lucas already. Started off with time dilation of all things.
For the first blood, yeah.
You should have seen that coming.
I thought the Abaddon was gonna abandon the match. Oh, he does disconnect. Yeah.
Now you jinxed it with the cast. This curse.
At least Geozizi is enjoying the joke. But yeah, interesting start of a game for sure.
Curse of Avernus, the cast's curse, a lot more powerful. Though this top lane is so interesting. I don't know, I love it. Abaddon against the Spectre, it always feels good for the Abaddon, but this Spectre, like you said, it's their two best players, and while Crystallize is really level 6 dependent. Once he gets level 6, I don't think he wants to be sitting in the lane anymore. I think he's just gonna start hunting and never really stop. Whereas on bottom lane, once Faceless Void gets to level 2 and gets to level in that Time Walk, it's just gonna be such a boring lane. Because while Phoenix can harass the Dragon Knight is always gonna outregen the Phoenix, but isn't gonna be lasting too well without any attack speed.
No, mana.
And Snapfire really just waiting for that cookie, though I do think it's the right move from Monte to lane Snapfire Dragon Knight and put the Bat Rider on the mid lane instead. Because with the Spectre last pick, they do need to get that lasso online as soon as possible and try to kill off the Spectre as many times as they can. And go when ready is being called as Bat Rider. So far, having a decent lane against Wish, all things considered, but Wish, of course, will have a slight lasted advantage, just by nature of being the Keeper of the Light. So the question is really, what do you think will Bat Rider do when he gets to level 6? Will he go to the side lane, will he get a support rotating in towards him instead, and try to kill off that high value Keeper of the Light before he snowballs?
I'm not so sure. You need to kind of get that level 6 catch first on the bat in order to be useful in this lane. I think you will just stack up, either go for the Blink or the TP Boots decision, and then those ganks can come in. But until then, I'm not so sure how Moonlight wants to, you know, oh god, I can't think of the word in English. My brain.
Happens to the best of them on bottom lane. There is a bit of a brawl going on, as Faceless Void only survived by means of missing a cookie there, and both of them are gonna be brawled back, but will live for the time being.
Oh, I thought of it. So how will the Bat Rider gain relevance is my question, right? So...
Oh yeah, well, exactly, that's the big question, because they did put the Bat Rider on the mid lane, and the off lane is now really powerful. We can already see Faceless Void is not farming at all.
Which is definitely like a
you,
good start as we switch
feeding
back
Dragon
to
Knight those
Plastics.
cookies is ridiculous. This is one of those pop stomp combos you can pull out with your best mate if you're ever bored, and gain easy MMR, because Dragon Knight Snapfire is just that strong. Even if you're a little bit too aggressive with the cookie, you hardly ever get punished thanks to that Dragon Blood, and you got a double stun as well.
I mean, we talk about this a lot with Base Defender as well, that ease of execution, especially on this tier of Dota, it kind of, how should I say, it uncomplicates things, right? So as long as I have a chrono and pack things into it, that should ease up my mid game and late game. But in this lane right now, this cookie with a Dragon Tail constantly, like, Lucas is suffering hard. 7 last hits in 3 minutes so far. He's definitely not having a good time.
And it's not gonna get any better either until, well, he gets a gank rotation or something to help stabilize this lane. Because Dragonite is only gonna become more unkillable, and Snapfire will just continuously be keeping that pressure up. Snapfire is not a hero known for falling off. As there is that cookie chains done just to harass the crap out of him, and a little bit of damage was taken even after the time walk. Over on top lane, however, Spectre not having the best time in lane either. 14 last hits, which is decent.
Still ahead, I guess, in front of Void. Although Mr. Luck is owning right now. This is a Baden pick that you've been praising.
Yeah,
Really
against
well.
Spectre it's really good, and here you see why. Because once you get that curse off, Spectre just can't farm. It's gonna miss some last hits. It's gonna end up getting the Abaddon even more farmed at this rate.
Down
It's a
bottom,
really
an easy kill on
matchup.
Jozizi.
Snapfire will be burned down. Phoenix with a little bit of aggression.
I know,
And Faces Void will
Middle
just
tower
solve
is in
that.
trouble from the way
Yeah,
they
the
use
extra
control.
damage from the Fire Spirit, sorry, there is the reason. So, like, the level 2 Fire Spirits instantly just mitigate you from turning and playing an easier game. But in exchange, they do get the lane getting pushed out. So Infernal is definitely going to be happy about these last hits and the levels.
Yeah, though Faces Void really needs those kills in order to get his farming items in time, as he too is going to opt for the Mask of Madness early. Understandable, this is a really hard lane to be in as the Faces Void after all. And this is why, once again, stun number 1, stun number 2, ooh, so close.
Yeah, at least one more right click would have been needed, but when you don't level that little Shredder, you don't get the minus armor. But yeah, to be fair, level 2 Scatter Blast is just way better, on the other hand, so...
Honestly, I would love to see Monte switch their lanes. Like, just switch the Snapfire plus Dragonite top, really pressure the crap out of Abaddon, and give Crystallize the Faceless Void who's completely shut down maybe not, but at least far enough behind that you know he can't really go for a kill on you anymore.
I don't know what Crystallize does against the Faceless Void, though.
Is insured. That thing is standing on his
I think that kind of risks the biscuit, you know, you push your carry into the off lane. It's a high risk, high reward move, but it could only work if your carry can kill the enemy. So that
Well,
rotation
they do
could work 2 patches ago, but
They do have the Shadow Demon. I think with Shadow Demon they could get away with it, simply because
Oh,
as long as the Shadow
Moonlight.
Demon...
oh, getting
Ooh.
caught out on the Batrider super hard.
But there's the Shadow Demon coming in, creating him some space, a nice little cookie to try and keep the Batrider alive. Batrider juking, Lion slowed up, hits the Earth Spike, but Batrider still alive, just a sliver of HP. So much damage being dealt to the Lion, but Lion shielded up and that Snapfire goes down to the Abaddon.
Saving Moonlight at the 6-minute rune. Kind of a crucial move, but Wish got the best out of it all. Free lane for the Coddle.
Yeah, Keeper of the Light, now starting to hit a snowball timing, but Batrider is starting to gain some degree of relevance, made impact with the first lasso, and I think the next lasso is gonna be directed at a bigger target, like a carry, let's say, or an offlaner, because this Abaddon, at this rate, he's gonna start snowballing out of control really fast, become that second terrifying carry, and make a ton of space for the Faceless Void.
Looks like Dyer's top tower is in some trouble.
There's already a 2k gold lead almost on the side of MarsBet, though most of that is on the Keeper of the Light.
Hope Dyer's middle tower is insured. That thing is standing on its last
I'm
brick.
more than sure these lane pressures and rotations should come out now that we're done with the laning stage. But Infernal desperately trying to get that level 6 up. Another Dragon Form would be very crucial for him as he's getting lasered down hard. Cookie should delay, but it seems inevitable.
Yeah,
Oh,
with the
the
damage from the
damage.
Keeper of the Light. He's
One
still
more right click.
ticking, and Faceless Void will secure the kill for himself.
I like the new indicators on the towers. I don't know what you feel about it, though. As a Bingham does go down on the mid lane, but Wish instantly punishing Moonlight for it. Again, the lasso went out this time. Again, on a smaller target, but getting those kills off on the Bat Rider, no matter what. It's kind of the name of the game.
That Rider, he's going for the TP boots after a Soda Crest of all items. Interesting build. The extra tankiness is definitely gonna come in handy with the self-cast. And TP boots are definitely better, because you know Abaddon is a very slow hero, so is Lion. So you got a bit of time to play the map yourself, to try and get not just that Spectre, but also that Bat Rider to be absolutely terrifying.
You can tell Dyer's
Yeah, you
tower is
can
in trouble.
instantly feel that Wishes is a Keeper of the Light, where the TP boots is instantly making more impact than the Bat.
He already got the TP boots as well, so he can be all over the place. Is going to come in on the bottom lane, try and pressure the Dragon Knight as there's a Chronosphere available, but Dragon Knight is full health, use that Dragon form to be fine there.
He's looking okay, as long as they do see the cuddle down bottom. I don't know if Moonlight wants to, you know, do the thing on Bingham again. Lasso's up in 9 seconds. Oh, it doesn't have vision on him, my bad. But look at instantly just shoving him out with the combo. I was like, I can't approach this, not like this, for sure.
Dragon Knight can now get in some good tower harass, start actually pressuring the Void's lane as Faceless Void will get haunted on by the or shadow stepped on by the Spectre and just instantly taken off the map. Nice clean kill for Crystallize there. Huge for making sure the Spectre facilitates her comeback as well.
One hell of a beating.
And now things are looking good for Monte.
I think this is pretty okay for both teams right now. I'd rather be satisfied with how things are going. Easy kill on Lucas, but he still has that chrono threat, so I'm curious to see how he wants to turn around for this.
Yeah, Faceless Void now for the most part going to be fine. He is left blown lane against the Dragon Knight. But Lucas really just waiting for that Mask of Mad. Well, he has the Mask of Mad, so he can hit the jungle whenever his lane gets hard. That's already really nice. Though, let's see whether the Maelstrom would have paid more for him or not. Meanwhile, Abaddon just getting the crap harassed out of him by Shadow Demon with those illusions. Level 1 disruption, but it's enough with a level 3 Abaddon curse to already be super annoying onto Mr. Luck.
Yeah, I still find it interesting that not even a value point is put into those mist coils, but like what are you dispelling anyway? Like the Earth Spike? Hell no. This is Lucas? Along with LeBron making a move here, but it's pretty posed as aggressive, and Infernal can just take the tower on the bottom for free in exchange for this.
If you're in the vicinity
Yeah,
of
that's gonna be
Dyer's
huge.
tower, I'd put on a hard
So, Faceless Void, after all, not going to regret buying that Mask of Madness to farm the jungle more efficiently before his Maelstrom was done.
Don't
With
look
the
down.
Aberrant Curse, they do deal decent power damage back, but now Faceless Void is caught, will retaliate with a 2-man Chronosphere. In come those Mortimer's Kisses, forcing out the Faceless Void. Abaddon goes for a nice ultimate, but Mr. Luck, despite the ultimate, he is now caught out with everybody hitting onto him, and boom, down he goes. Faceless Void managed to get out of there, slowing everybody to try and prevent the worst from happening. And with the Bat Rider taking another Illuminate to the face, that's gonna be it. But they do kill Mr. Luck. The biggest hero you're kind of afraid of escalating right now, because Faceless Void is just chilling, farming. He's gonna be an easy catch in 10 minutes from now. Whereas the Abaddon, in 10 minutes, he's about unkillable if you hadn't shut him down right now. Speaking of unkillable heroes, Crystallize, looking to go for a Hand of Midas.
Yeah, it does seem like the best way to just scale up into that late game, isn't it?
Radiant's bottom tower is getting obliterated.
It's already on his way for him. I would have said Blade Mail, but maybe he knows something we don't.
Was built to withstand
Mr. Luck and Crystallize exchange some blows, and Mr. Luck just trying to burst down this tower. Of course, Infernal.
3-man
with-
smoke on bottom,
Radiant's middle tower.
who
The dragon
will be
form.
catching out the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon hexed,
Ooh,
manages to save
disruption.
himself at sliver of HP.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is about to be
Yeah, I wanted to say that Monte are just more happy, you know. They took the tier 1 tower a little faster, and Infernal now with Blink is just going to be a threat on the map all the time.
We're starting to become scary as well with the upgraded Spirit Vessel having 2 charges ready to go at any time. And he's looking to queue up a Lincoln Sphere next. Interesting, but it's definitely not the wrong call against Spectre and a bad rider.
Well, there's also like the Dragon Tail as a call out, you know, all in all. They're just good utilities to have. You can even just burst out with the Bat Rider in general, and then, you know, it's not the longest cooldown of ults, especially when it's at level 3. And then once that Lincoln Sphere is broken, you can just Dragon Tail, Shadow Step in, and make those moves around the map. That is something MarsBet should definitely watch out for, because their mid lane also getting pressured hard.
2-man smoke from the side of Monte, looking to perhaps jump this Keeper of the Light if he makes a mistake. But nobody showing on the mid lane anymore from the side of MarsBet.
With their odd-looking, bulging eyes. Ugh.
They get some really good aggressive vision done in the Radiant jungle.
Diffusal Blade as a starting item for Spectre after the Midas.
I like it.
Interesting.
Make sure they keep that aggression up, because the late game is definitely going to be terrifying. We've seen the Faces Void earlier today, and he casually outscaled an Alchemist. This time
double
around.
Chrono is just such a big threat. Is Lucas, yeah, copying last game's build as you mentioned, and he's also going for a Lincoln Sphere.
Definitely the right call. And you got an Abaddon too, so the more you delay, the better it is for the side of MarsBet, as long as Monte don't start snowballing out of control. Because Abaddon is effectively going to be a second carry. Well, Keeper of the Light, well, he doesn't scale that well into the late game. He does get that Sheepstick eventually, and Sheepstick is just big this game, because it can keep the Spectre from jumping all over a fight. And it can also keep one of those supports off the map who potentially go for saves. I'm kind of surprised we don't see any Yules come out from the side of MarsBet at all.
It wouldn't be the worst item for Monte either, but so far, it's MarsBet coming through with the early pressure, as you mentioned. But Infernal will definitely be trying to rotate into the mid lane and take the mid 1 tower as soon as possible. It's going to be hard without siege weapons, as LeBron getting a bit of
Fine
love.
with an Abaddon behind him. Though Dragon Knight goes for the kill with the Blink Dagger forward. Out comes the Mortimer's Kiss, and that is 2 people hitting the egg as the egg is going to burst.
Oh, wish.
Abaddon trying to run down the Spectre. Spectre cursed up, but there's the Chronosphere onto 3 people. One of whom is gonna die. Spectre, however, manages to teleport out because of it. Mr. Luck now instead trying to kill the Snapfire, but everybody trying to TP. Infernal will be caught on the retreat. Bad Riders, though, still looking to fight. Will be gone on by 3 now as well after Infernal has died, but he will at least take Lucas with him. So altogether an equal trade.
The Aphotic shield turn from Mr. Luck. It's not letting Lucas be stunned up. This was such a good call from MarsBet. And yeah, neither of the teams got much out of that. It was a 3-for-3 in exchange, but Crystallize making it out of that fight, I think, was the clutch play right there. But also
Definitely.
the big chrono from Lucas. Yeah, I can't deny. That was huge impact.
It was kind of unfortunate that he ended up chronoing the Abaddon as well and saving a life in the process. Bad Rider would have died so much earlier into that team fight. But yeah, it was still a really good Chronosphere altogether. So MarsBet now enjoying some much needed space, whereas Team Monte just waiting for the Spectre to finish up her Diffusal Blade. And then I think when you got the Diffusal Blade plus the Shadow Step ready, you can just try to go for a smoke pickoff. Make sure you push the lead that way. Maybe they don't even need the smoke to try and catch Mr. Luck. Abaddon gets dragged out of position. The ultimate, however, will go off and purge the lasso.
It's just bonkers how little of cooldown borrow time has.
You can tell Dire's middle tower is in trouble from the way it's being destroyed as I speak.
Yeah, it is quite a fun spell. Though, then again, it can be countered quite easily with the Silver Edge nowadays, which Dragon Knight is possibly going to pick up soon. He has a BKB queued up now. After the BKB, you usually get some form of damage or utility on the Dragon Knight, and I wouldn't mind seeing a Silver Edge come out, honestly. Sneak into position, break somebody, and then press the BKB to just turn a team fight upside down. Speaking of, he is gonna jump onto the Faces fight, and with the Cookie Faces fight, it's gonna go down to the Spectre, jumping in with the Shadow Step Spectre, running away as Infernal trying to teleport out, will not make it however. Phoenix on the chase for more. One is teleported out, LeBron really low health, though he gets the egg off, and that is gonna be Jozizi locked down, not locked down long enough to stop hitting the egg as his teammates come help him out. Mr. Luck cursed up by his own illusion thanks to that Shadow Demon. And Abaddon in a lot of trouble after that ultimate of his. He will be fine as long as that lasts. And Shadow Demon manages to teleport out. Vector decided to teleport top instead and no longer rejoin that fight. Probably for the better.
Yeah, Mr. Luck goes, you curse me, I curse you. And just gave back the curse of awareness onto the Bat Rider. And that was an easy turn for them. But yeah, this time I'd say MarsBet took a way better fight. And gaining so much out of it, they're more than happy. Although, to be fair, the Spectre did survive, so that's just a nice thing to have for Monte, but you need to take the 4v5 fights in a way that you get out on top, but with this Abaddon, it's looking really tough, as him now with a Solar Crest, he's just looking really, really epic.
Yeah, he's queuing up the Harpoon next to go for that extra catch, and it's probably gonna be the Harpoon into the Monte style build to start being a real second carry. While Faceless Void is also starting to look strong, though I think he wants to finish the Lincoln Sphere before he tries to commit for more fights with that Chronosphere of his. Gonna be a quick and easy Tormentor, as Phoenix of course helps out a ton with that one.
LeBron almost dying, but I guess worth. Because Bingham gets the shard, that's the big one, right? Everyone's been complaining
after the
about.
buff, it is so huge.
Goes easy.
Will be caught up, Cookie comes out, but the Cookie isn't gonna be enough on zone. Everybody else from Monte managed to get back in time, though now MarsBet know exactly where Monte are and are playing accordingly, with Phoenix just kind of de-warding, trying to get back some map control. Also, MarsBet have taken back the lead in gold and XP. So, win rate wise, they are now hugely favored, mostly just because they have such a strong freaking late game. So, you're the analyst. Tell me, will this Manta Staff from the Spectre actually be enough to kill off the Keeper of the Light still? Because he does have a Lincoln Sphere, and you do need to wait till you can jump him until one of your teammates has procced the Lincoln for you, right?
True. I don't believe that's solo enough for Crystallize to engage. A nice technique would be, to throw out the Spectral Dagger on a target and then Shadow Step into it. And with that going through, yeah, look at this. There, he pierced it. So Wish in with the catch.
That's the Chronosphere though, and Lucas is just going to go ham with the egg behind him. Finger comes out as well.
This is what they just need to keep on doing. Ball up, stick together, and they don't even dare Shadow Step into all of this.
Yeah, Spectre just has to keep on farming, but that was such a quick teamfight execution as well, with the Chronosphere and the egg being there instantly. The second they show it, just BAM! And if they can do this just one or two more times again, it will already be GG, simply because Monte are gonna be stuck in that awkward timing where Spectre never really comes online, whereas she's also not gonna make the late game timing against Void anymore. Of course, the remedy for that is the Dragon Knight kind of playing that second carry role, but Dragon Knight right now even having trouble finding his BKB.
If you're in the vicinity of Dire's top tower, I'd put on a hard hat. That baby is coming down.
I'm just not sure what you look for as mitigation. I don't think the BKB in itself is going to be enough. deny all this damage from Wish.
What I think the biggest component they're missing is that Bat Rider Blink Dagger. They don't have that, so a lot of the initiation, a lot of the initiative kind of in this game belongs to MarsBet. And Moonlight is forced to counter-initiate, which isn't bad with the Solar Crest build, but he now has to also build the BKB before he can go and complete that Blink Dagger of his, because there is so much lockdown, so much magical burst damage.
I'm just still looking at Infernal, and I'm worried. BK didn't pop off into that BKB blink timing, as you should. But yeah, Crystallize, at the same time, still farming. But we'll see. I really like the new build up for the Manta style, I'm not gonna lie though.
Me too. I think it's nice that offlaners can build it too now, because a lot of those really beefy strength offlaners, it's really fun. You make some Monte illusions, and the enemy has trouble telling whether they're real or not, because I don't know. You're a Tidehunter and you got 4 points of Kraken Shell, and in games where you need the purge, it's actually really viable to buy it on any kind of hero now.
Yeah.
So I think that's really fun.
Oh, there's always that nice choice of either going the Lincolns or going for this item, but Lincoln's being nerfed, you kind of want the stats, so yeah, I do agree. You'd rather want to go for the Manta style instead.
At least unlike those greedy offlaners, because the Lincoln Sphere, you say it's been nerfed, but it's an earlier to like item now. It's that simple. It's now a mid-game, early game to mid-game item instead of that extra late-game item you get when you have everything you really need.
And it's a classic on the Abaddon, right? And of course that's why we always see Mr. Luck building it up as well. Curse of Avernus stacking up faster, you just get your objectives immediately.
This time around, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Abaddon after that go for an Abyssal Blade, go for that stun lock, as they will try to catch out the Bat Rider. Moonlight attacks, then from here on out he's just gonna die as Lion already has a 4-step plus Blink Dagger. Just the master of chasing people down at this point.
Bignum is just the master of setup here. And yeah. 5 kills up, MarsBet. But this solid team fight, and these executions are just perfect for them. Look at them. Such perfect discipline, you know? Oh, we procced the tier 2? Well, we're not gonna go be greedy and stand under it, because we know they have a Snapfire and a Shadow Step and all. But still, I'll approve Monte's movements here, you know? Pressuring down at the tier 1 tower. Inferno will tickle this mid-tier 1 as well, just a little bit. And we'll disengage as fast as possible. Although, the rest of MarsBet already doing Roshan.
And look at how quickly it goes down with that Abaddon curse plus this Void, who's just starting to get kind of fed at this point. Lucas, he had such a hard lane, but he's still looking absolutely solid now that we're headed into the mid game. As Dragonite did some decent push, it's gonna force people to defend, but more than space created isn't really in it for them.
As Lucas gets all the love from the Solar Crest and the shield. It's so much easier to farm. And safer too.
Yeah, Spectre in the meanwhile wants to really be able to catch out those supports. Is going to start building up probably that Orchid. Well, almost definitely that Orchid, right? Or is it gonna be a Mage Slayer, you think?
It's an Orchid. It's in his item queue. I still prefer it over the Mage Slayer, to be honest.
Same. For sure, because he just needs to catch out the Keeper of the Light and the Lion. That's your only job if you crystallize this game. And so far, he's having a hard time with that, because every time you try to jump on somebody, faces Void, jumps in and stun locks you, or Abaddon gives them a shield and turns around on you. As now with that tier 2 just mown down, they are gonna come in, pressure the tier 3.
They have the Aegis, why not?
Don't look now, but Radiant's bottom tower is getting obliterated.
Ooh, the illusions instantly get destroyed after disruption.
Yeah, and now the fortification forced out. Lucas doesn't even have to back against the fortification because Keeper of the Light keeps healing him as well.
All he needs is this cushion of Enders on the tower and to keep on right-clicking as the Illuminate is zoning them out hard. BKB available on the Bat Rider, but they're definitely losing this tier 3.
Gonna be one objective done. It looks like they're staying for more. They will boy, so much from the Bat Rider. Bat Rider with the BKB, still hoping he finds an opening to turn around, but won't. Lucas, unafraid, still sitting on that front line, has the Chronosphere and is really just waiting for somebody to mess up. They're gonna take range tracks and all get back, as there is still almost 3 minutes on that Aegis, but with Keeper of the Light and Phoenix heating them up, they want the Medirex as well. Takes a little while longer to push until they get that Curse of Avernus off, but instead Dragon Knight goes forward, will immediately be fingered to death, and that is the two-man Chronosphere as Face the Void gets one. Bat Rider locked up in a corner, will be able to escape Lucas for the time being, but they already got that really important frontliner as now crystallized, locked down, silenced up and dead.
Oh, those disruptions from Eknar couldn't save anyone in the Chrono. Now he's still trying to use it aggressively. At least one life from Lucas would be nice.
Yeah, but they've already lost the lane of Rax and don't have buyback for 50 seconds, so I think it's just gonna be at the very least 2 lanes of Rax. Bignum still just wants to end the game right here and now keeps on fighting. But now everybody is gonna back off. They're gonna push another lane of Rax, I think. Because the Aegis is only gonna be reclaimed in 1 minute and 50 seconds. And until that 1 minute and 50 seconds is over, I think from here on out, you just gotta sit it out and hope you make a comeback afterwards still.
Yeah, getting that Spectre to the late game. You'd say 35 minutes is usually when the Spectre gets online. I'm not sure this Spectre will get it in time. So you still need that Cornucopia, the Orchid, maybe the Scotty on top of that, I guess, if you're going traditional builds, as I heard a BKB get activated on accident. Oh, Moonlight. He got scared of the illusion.
Oh, that's the big one.
Oh,
As now over on bottom lane.
That's 8-second charge. This is so
Poor
bad.
little Shadow Demon gets grouped up on by 3 and will just be taken off the map. Nothing a disruption can do about that. Tier 1 is gonna fall, Tier 2 is gonna fall, and they still have 50 seconds to do it with as well.
Shadow stuff? Oop, nice little lasso.
Nice little pick off there onto LeBron over on the mid lane, though bottom lane is now getting besieged by the Faces Void and the Abaddon once again, as Mr. Luck has that Manta style. It's now gonna be even better at applying that curse of his.
10 seconds until good old Mortimer's kisses, but same time zoning out. It's not gonna be easy.
10 seconds feels like a long time when your objectives are falling this fast.
Sure, as they're doing their best to just zone out Mr. Luck and Lucas out of here.
They did manage to deal with the illusions, as now everybody is retreating from the side of MarsBet. Are, however, smoked up in front of the Faces Void. The
Just two
smoke's gonna
offlaners
break.
meet.
And they're just gonna stare at each other like, oh hi, you here too, but now the Lion is gonna get caught with the jump from the Dragon Knight. Out comes the Spectre with the Shadow Step in. Nice save from the Abaddon onto Bignum, who just wants to make as much happen as possible before that Chronosphere wears off. Faces Void didn't get a single kill in the Chronosphere, however, and did lose his Lion for that, as they will finally finish off Crystallized thanks to their Abaddon. The Phoenix is going to get right-clicked down by the Snapfire. Snapfire has now shown it's gonna be ran down by the Faces Void, while Mr. Luck will finish off the Shadow Demon, and that is going to be another lane of Rex getting destroyed by Lucas now, all the while in the backlines. Infernal goes down to Mr. Luck. Mr. Luck, he's really the carry that runs at heroes, all the while the Faces Void, after he's used that Chronosphere, is kind of just scaring away those supports as GGs get called with so much push.
Yeah, just an easy shutdown right there.
It's not even the Faces Void just being overpowered with his Chronosphere this time around. I think this time around it really boils down to the Abaddon and the Keeper of the Light having made so much space as well during the early game for both of those kind of late game cores.
I mean, it's undeniable. Like, at the end of the day, if you can't push your lineup to the late game, that's what ends up when you have Spectre, right? You lose your mid tower early. Falk keeps saying this, and I guess he's right. You lose your mid tower early, you can't find places for the Spectre to farm. And yeah, you just can't keep her safe. Crystallize only died twice, to be fair, but all in all, like, the rest of the lineup just didn't have the damage output to face MarsBet.
Spectre as well, once she had the damage output, by that time the Abaddon was already so fat, he would just wait for Spectre to show up and jump on top of her every single team fight, which worked out really well for Mr. Luck. So the hard counter is really noticeable there, and that Spectre just doesn't really have a way to defend herself. You can press a Monte style for the purge and run away, but that's the best you can do. And if your carry is running away after purging in a team fight, it's not how you win that fight, sadly. So let's see how game number 2 is gonna go. As Monte, I think with a different carry, this draft would have been so much stronger if they would have gone for a glass cannon, but all the good glass cannons were kind of banned or high risk, high reward. But I think with the Dragon Knight, a Drow Ranger would have still been viable with the lasso and everything.
Yeah.
Ripples fade away. Human hearts aren't so lucky. Those battle scars remain. Oh, I can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes of your ghost. Can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes of your ghost. La da 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 da. Ripples fade away. Human hearts aren't so lucky. Those battle scars remain. Oh, I can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes of your ghost. Can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes. A messy mind. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby. Hotter than flames. Wanna burn together in a million ways. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless, put you to the test. Yeah, I know I'm not gonna regret this. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. Couldn't keep your poker face. Before you kept me waiting when I wanted to race. Sweet as hell, babe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to MarsBet versus Monte, game number 2 here at EPL Season 15 of the group stage. My name is Dodai. That's a picture of Joe XD Prize avatar, and yeah, we're here.
I
in
do
game number
look
2.
like that IRL when I do bother like shaving and stuff.
That is true. That is true. You do kind of look like your Discord avatar. I'm not gonna lie.
Radiant gets to ban.
So yeah, people are just gonna have to go with that one. But we got ourselves an interesting draft to talk about anyway, so who needs to see my face? With a Centaur War Runner getting picked up really early for MarsBet, as Monte already started this draft off with the global combo, this time around with a Nature's Prophet. And of course, Nature's Prophet is one of those heroes where so many heroes synergize with it, you're definitely gonna draft something that combos up with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if MarsBet just straight up ban out the Spectre here. If they want to, if they're scared of it at all. But the other one I don't really enjoy. If I see Nature's Prophet, I usually prefer to ban the Dawnbreaker.
5 seconds.
Especially that Spectre got a little bit touched on nerfed in 735. He doesn't feel that much of a strong tempo. On the other hand, Dawnbreaker is scary as hell.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Like, I even saw it be played position 1 in China, and it works. Like, that's how scary the hero is.
Oh yeah, Dawnbreaker 1, Dawnbreaker 2 are both really solid picks. And I'm kind of
3.
surprised that we haven't seen her as a mid laner more.
Yeah,
Well-
no, but her traditional 3 is just super OP as
10
well.
seconds.
Like, the laning stage, you have a wave clear, which is super hard.
5
Ending with a
seconds.
stun
4,
on top of
3,
everything.
you get it.
Yeah, but let's be real, this patch almost every position 3 is kind of OP. That's the thing. Like Centaur War Runner, an absolute beast in the laning stage. Primal Beast has been banned, Doom has been banned, Mars has been banned, Timbersaw has been banned, because all of these heroes, they're just too scary. You really don't want to deal with them if you're not planning on drafting them yourself.
Radiant's up.
And that's gonna be a Vengeful.
I
Alright,
like Venge. I like Venge. 4 or 5. Both are pretty solid. Especially with Solar Crest becoming a busted item, honestly. Like, that item is just so strong right now. It's like the new and
10
improved
seconds.
Wraith Pact, but without the lifesteal. But other than that, you get
5
like a
seconds.
huge
Where to
shield,
allow you.
comparatively. You get more from Solar Crest and effective HP than basically Wraith Pact gave you back in the day. Or it gives you more than Guardian Greaves, to be fair.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how well the thing scales as well. Nice little save, and Vengeful Spirit, of course. One of those heroes who just keeps on skating. She gets a second life, she gets a bounce on her stun. Everything she does just becomes incredibly strong the longer the game goes on. So that, in addition to having initiation, is just great.
Amplifying the minus armor gap. It's just all around great. I wouldn't even be surprised if MarsBet pull out the mid laner Slardar, just in order to increase that armor gap between the two teams. Pros of Haze into the Wave of Terror is just...
Dyer's turn to pick.
Ooh, speaking of Slaughter, there it is from Monte.
Monte will take it, and they will govern it up with the Phoenix once again.
Not bad. I mean, Slaughter is a good enough egg protector, that much is for sure, because people are going to be forced to kite the Slaughter around while also dodging the egg.
10 seconds.
Of course, you had eggs on the other side this time around, so...
Luna comes out this time around, however, for MarsBet, who feel that with Vengeful Spirit, they have enough in the way of defensive heroes to protect her already. And will reveal that as the third pick. It is a decent egg hitter after all.
Yeah, Luna does kind of enjoy these melee big tanky boys next to her, like Ogre, Magi, Undying, and Spirit Protector. Of course, Trent has been nerfed to Oblivion, we talked about
What do you
him.
think of the new Undying?
The new Undying, I haven't tested it myself. Played that much since the past. Kuala Lumpur all day, you know, sat on my couch. But all in all, I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie. I think the new patch just is like a blessing for us, Undying players. The stun from getting out of the tombstone, if it's destroyed, has been nerfed. It's not 3 seconds of not doing anything now. It's only 2.
Radiant's up.
So there are compensation techniques.
Wind Ranger at your
But
service.
MarsBet revealing the Wind Ranger first. not giving us much to go on, and this Wind Ranger is still a flex pick. It can be a 4 if you want it.
Mid,
Should be, but it can be a 4 if it's countered by Monte.
10 seconds.
Oh yeah, they do have that option ready. They do have
That's
the
what I'm
very last
saying.
pick of the draft, but with the Luna,
5
Wind Ranger
seconds.
mid is so broken because you get those aura stacks so early on, and then you have the ultimate, and the first ultimate is always gonna lead to a kill because it deals bonus damage. I think it's really solid. Though, yeah, I've had Undying against me in one of my pubs, and the hero felt absolutely unkillable, and I've lost MMR, and I'm so salty about that. So I think the Undying hero is also extremely good, and something like that, or some other Chaos creator would be really good for MarsBet here. If things go south and the Wind Ranger does get countered, like you kind of predicted here, then they can always pick up a puck, just to keep the Slaughter, just to keep the Nature's Prophet locked in place.
Absolutely true.
And I would like that as far as the synergy goes, but anything that gives you chaos in the team fight really is good for MarsBet here as far as the mid goes. Kunkka as well, just for that big Torrent Storm. But anything that's annoying that forces people to run away from you is great.
Didn't Kunkka get a little bit of hate in 735? I'm pulling up the patch now. But as far as I can tell, the captain got some pretty big nerfs. Like the Torrent Storm being a bit smaller, like relatively like smaller was it hurts a lot
Radiant's up. Banning time.
on the hero.
Yeah, Kunkka is back to being a right clicker. From what I've seen, you play him on the cleave now, and it looks like Monte will be picking themselves up a Terrorblade. Decent against Wind Ranger and great against Luna. Not bad against Vengeful Spirit either.
Makes sense to instantly ban the Zeus straight out from Monte. Good choice. I will agree to that one.
10
Oh yeah,
seconds.
me too. That would have also been a great source of some chaos in the
5
team
seconds.
fights, but a perfect counter for not just the Slaughter, but also the Terrorblade.
All right. Dyer gets to ban.
MarsBet, whatever they... Okay, they banned the puck themselves, so I think they still want the Wind Ranger on the mid lane. English is hard sometimes, man.
Mid ranger, yeah, got it.
Mid Ranger. Yeah, they want the Mid Ranger.
I hate Wind Ranger with a burning passion.
We're 10 seconds out. Plenty of
But
time
maybe
to
it's
tell
just
an
due to the
announcer
fact
you're
that I
wrong,
got
if
to
that's
work with
what's in
Slacks, man.
5 seconds.
You just constantly riffs on anyone that plays it or likes it. I used to have a profile picture with Wind Ranger, and he shat on me for like a week about it. But no. I mean, Wind Ranger in general, it's a weird aspect of the hero that I'm not a fan of, like these skill shots and. But honestly, her recent buffs in the patch make her kind of viable, and I agree. Like that mid lane feels a bit better.
My take on the Wind Rangers, I really like the hero when I'm watching her and not playing her, because she speeds up games. It's the hero that constantly gives you some action to watch. But if you're on the receiving end of that action, it doesn't feel good. And if you're the player that has to like deal with all of that stress, if I constantly have to run at my enemies, I constantly have to be doing something, be it a skill shot, be it farming a camp, be it trying to set up a tower push with my ultimate.
Dyer's turn to
I don't know. It's not a fun hero to play if you ask me. So I understand why a lot of people hate it. But I think it's still really fun to watch and competitive when it does come out.
I just like Gale Force due to the sub documentary, but that's it.
I don't like that last pick. I don't like that last
10
pick at
seconds.
all.
I don't agree with the Bat Raiders. I wasn't
5
happy
seconds.
with it first game when Monty brought it out. I'm not happy with it this game. I'm not gonna lie. Because now at
You've
least they
mentioned
have
the
the
Gale
team.
Force.
They have that
Cave
team fight
Johnson here.
aspect, and
It's time to
yeah,
Yeah, 2-0 for
Marsbet just pick up the Abaddon again. I'm fairly confident they've got this. But wait, who's going mid lane? Oh, it's a support Centaur. Okay, that's how they're gonna play it.
Easy for Mars. We're
Yeah.
gonna be here for not much longer at this rate. Unless Crystallize pulls out some miracle. I always want the game number 3 to come out, of course. But here, I think Terrorblade has to do so much work in order for that to happen. Obviously, the best case scenario for Monty would be if Crystallize manages to get a really early Metamorphosis kill with a Blood Grenade. Just make sure the Terrorblade goes like 2-0, 3-0 in lane, wins his lane before he heads into the jungle.
Just the nature of the heroes they have right now, like, you know, like Crystallize needs to have this conjure images in order to do damage that is relevant in the Metamorphosis. But those Glaze are going to keep on bouncing back and forth between him and his illusions, so he's going to be in trouble fast. Of course, there's the Sunder, and I want to see him be saved a few times. Maybe Lotus Orb could be viable here. As, you know, sending back Shackles and Magic Missiles is always nice to have. But all in all, I think Monte are in huge trouble. Again, going for that same I want to own you in the late game kind of strategy. And, yeah, unless the Terrorblade doesn't get like 3 or 4 kills by 15 minutes, I don't see how Monte basically turn this around. And of course, that condition being that the TB doesn't get dumpstered on the lane by the Abaddon.
Yeah, and even if he gets through the laning stage, if he doesn't have those kills, then afterwards, once Abaddon gets his ultimate level 3, that's the point where he's gonna press R and run at the Terrorblade pretty much every single team fight. So, TB, if he doesn't get that lead, he's screwed. So Bad Rider with the lasso can set up for a couple of really fast kills, can try to at least get the tempo in favor of Monte that way, so I think that's their best approach here. And we're gonna see, but if Bad Rider doesn't have huge impact, together with like Slardar becoming the second carry, then I'm not really feeling this, so I definitely think MarsBet are hugely favored. Dota 2 agrees with me too. It already says it's like 55% for MarsBet, just off the draft alone.
That's hard to argue with the Gaben graph, is it?
It really is when the game hasn't even started.
Although, yeah, that percentage instantly changes as soon as we get the Rune and the First Blood situation. But we'll see as the early warding goes out from Eknart.
And the 5-man smoke from the side of MarsBet. Monte this time around not responding with a smoke of their own, as everybody is roaming down towards the jungle.
Inferno looking to break. He's not going to cliff it, but oh, Crystallize.
Will be stunned up once, but he will be fine. They are still far enough back to all be okay on the side of Monte, and Monte will not be first blooded here. Though that smoke aggression gives them some nice control over the Radiant jungle. And that is gonna be guaranteed 2 runes for the side of MarsBet, probably even 3.
All right, everybody, 30 seconds.
This could be 4 if it keeps on going like this. Not gonna lie.
I mean, Monte, they have a Slardar near one of the runes, so I think he goes for the stun setup to try and prevent that from happening.
Oh, that's gonna be 2 on 2 at the end of the day.
Nicely played by Monte. That positioning there looked kind of scary from MarsBet.
But Greg, can they hear me? No? Good. Your teammates are garbage. This is all you.
But now look at that, they're gonna overblock the enemy safe lane. There is just 3 people standing here, and Centaur, not only does he block the creep wave, he also does a ton of burst damage to the Nature's Prophet. In comes the Terrorblade as well, trying to get his lane under control. But it's already going to be a pain in the ass of lane. He does manage to block the creeps out of the tower. So at the very least, that dire creep wave is going to stay alive for a little while.
I really enjoy that you started off with Reflection, you know, deterring Mr. Luck just a little bit.
Yeah, smart move. Because I do like how MarsBet immediately makes sure that this Terrorblade has the hardest start in the lane possible, and that Crystallize doesn't start by immediately farming, but instead just suffers during this laning stage.
Yeah, Mr. Luck learning fully well what he needs to do. He needs to Aphotic Shield himself up, back himself up as much as possible. Level 2 is where it's at for him.
Yeah, though on the other hand, with the Reflection, he is gonna curse himself then a bunch whenever he has to stand still and farm.
That is true. It's kind of a catch-22. You kind of want it, but you kind of don't want it.
Well, despite that, I mean, it's gonna be a boring lane probably over on bottom lane. Though I don't think a boring lane is too good for Crystallize, because we both said that he needs to make some kills happen. He needs to get a lead.
I think Bignum is a nice target. It's a Centaur that's not going to be building Vanguard for sure. Maybe a Solar Crested Centaur is what we're looking at. As
Courier has made one
ooh,
last
the
run.
instant kill onto the Courier. That's not a good feeling if you're Crystallized.
Yeah, that's gonna put him behind even further as Terrorblade is suffering in the lane. Luna is also kind of suffering in the lane, and now a Nature's Prophet comes in to try and snipe LeBron with the Blood Grenade. They will have that kill.
God damn it. Today I'm missing all the First Bloods.
And a teleport back out again.
Easy rotation from McNart.
Yeah,
that FP.
Lucas no longer having fun in his lane, that much is for sure.
LeBron at least is fighting back with the Luna. Oh yeah, Infernal with a pop-off start, 15-1 right now. I mean, he had a
Seriously?
wonderful start last time as well, didn't he?
Yep. Curiously enough, Wish is also kind of underfarmed on the mid lane, considering how hard he's supposed to be winning this lane. Though he is trying to farm that camp behind the Bat Rider, farming the Radiant camp with the power shot instead, and that is such a funny little meme play there.
Yeah, this Moonlight is just trying to stack farm as much as possible in the jungle, while picking up the bounty rune as well for the region. Doing a pretty good job this time, picking out Firefly way earlier than last time.
Yeah, he's playing that full-on farming Bat Rider, and so far it definitely seems to be paying off for him. However, I don't think that's gonna stop Wind Ranger from becoming terrifying. Because once he gets level 6, he is gonna be able to run people down left and right, be able to 1v1 the Bat Rider quite conveniently as well, lasso or no lasso.
Yeah, Luca's doing pretty okay, by the way, on the top lane now. 15-1 and overtaking the Terrorblade in last hits.
Yeah, I was about to say, Terrorblade, now that he doesn't have the Metamorphosis, his lane is just kind of dull. He's gotta wait out those 50 seconds, then he can start pressuring again, start trying to take over his lane again. But until then, it's Abaddon time.
Mr. Luck, we don't forget. We did forget that the curse stacks can be dispelled, right? So he can just Aphotic Shield himself as soon as he starts reflecting himself.
As Crystallize gets harassed quite a bit by the Centaur Warrunner, and yeah, Centaur Warrunner, the one reason I like him as a support so much is that Aphotic Shield. You basically just have a support that's a health pool, you put the shield on and he runs at enemies for you. Such a comfortable lane for Mr. Luck. He is going to out-farm this Terrorblade by just a ton.
I'm sorry, it's just creepy.
And Crystallize just happy that finally the lane is pushing in at all.
Right now we have him up with around 2 full lanes of creeps at least on the Abaddon, if not more. Actually 3 lanes now. The speed at which Mr. Luck is achieving these things is kind of scary, as the 6-minute rotation for the runes should come out soon. Eknar does have the TP standing by.
And LeBron Dota also already on the move, will make stack before heading towards that bounty rune. That power rune, I mean. But there's Geozizi.
Oh, it's a haste rune for Wish, man.
Oof, that's huge. That's exactly what MarsBet need in order to keep this game contained, as LeBron Dota takes a lot of damage to the face and he will be killed off before he can even launch that blood grenade. Nature's Prophet will die for that one, but Phoenix will make it out. Could have been a lot worse for the
Last
side.
on the mid.
of Monte as Bignum. Who? Close one. Bad Rider. If he had mana for like one more Molotov there, he could have easily gotten that kill, but he was completely out of mana, so Centaur War Runner gets to live, while now over on the top lane, Lucas is getting dived on by Slardar, but in comes the Vengeful Spirit, reduces his armor, and Infernal has got to get out of there.
Great approaches is Crystallize. Again, another Manta gone, or Mother Metamorphosis gone. It's not looking great for the position ones right now. After the laning stage, or towards the end of the laning stage. Both of them under 3k at the 8-minute turn.
Abaddon, so aggressive onto that Terror Blade. Maybe punished for that now with the Nature's Prophet coming in. But Mr. Luck still has those shields active, so he will be fine despite cursing himself this time around.
Josie's room rotates over to the mid lane. They do want this Phoenix to be level 6 fast. As of course Moonlight is not currently using it anyway. Why the hell not?
Yeah, Josie's level 6 is gonna be a real important force in those team fights. It's kinda hard to protect until Terrorblade is also going to join the fights. But once Slardar gets his Solar Crest up as well, I think he can frontline enough to just solo tank for the Phoenix as long as he manages to bait people into hitting him first.
Radiant might want to haul some ass down to their bottom tower. While they still
Arcane Rune for a wish. His second power rune in a row. Just all to him.
Nice little D-ward there with the Phoenix Sunray. As Wind Ranger will try to get some value out of that Arcane Rune, running down Moonlight. Moonlight, however, will be fine. As the power shot also wouldn't have done the trick anymore, but barely off the mark as well, so Moonlight had a decent bit of health again. Wind Ranger still looking to find him, but no more ultimate. As now Wish has to get out of there instead, is surrounded by 3 people taking a lot of damage to the face. Won't be able to get the stun out to defend himself as Moonlight comes in with that lasso. And it'll be a nice and easy kill for the Bad Rider. Exactly the target they needed too, as now Monte got a 2k gold lead. Both carries are still poor, which is better for the Luna of course, as her farm timing comes in a little bit more naturally, and a little bit faster. But right now all the space creators for the Terrorblade are just so online and can do whatever the hell they want. At least Slardar tries to dive the tower, but once again will be forced away from there.
Down bottom.
Ooh, it looks like another engagement is going to be attempted. Mr. Luck. I'm not sure if he really wants to dive Crystallize, but little does he know Crystallize doesn't have that Thunder ready yet. Instead, Abaddon, however, just hitting the tower. Probably the smart move. As for the Centaur, who we haven't really talked about other than him being a way to deploy the Shield of Avernus, he's finally starting to leech some experience himself after going for a ward. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for the level 6 on him as well, because that's gonna be another huge factor to spice up this game a little bit. Luke is meanwhile farming some stacks as 2 people come out from the smoke looking to gank the Luna. Vengeful Spirit is there with the swap. Sets up perfectly, so Luna gets to live. Nature's Prophet wants to catch the Luna, that gets caught out with the Wind Ranger ultimate. And Wish gets that kill. Like I said, to be on the receiving end of a Wind Ranger is never fun, as the lead is now down to 1k. Slardar is going to keep the ultimate up on Luna, but Luna is just going to finish farming her stack, trying to run away now with the Mask of Madness, will be stunned up by the Slardar. Chain stun, however, unsuccessful, and now Luna is under the tower where she gets all of her armor back.
Oh, missing that chain. That feels bad for Infernal. But soon close to that Solar Crest, which is the quintessential item to get that minus armor going.
Yeah, everybody seems to be building it nowadays.
Infernal just needs to get online fast. No, it's the pop-off, man. Like, in exchange of what you get, it's just so much as a return. Like, it used to be a good item before this patch, but now it's just crazy good.
I definitely agree with you there. The Wind Ranger will be hitting a super good Maelstrom timing and will be farming and popping off herself. As for Terrorblade, he's happy that he finally got some space to recover after his tier 1 had died. Crystallize now actually farming decently well and slowly but surely making his way ahead of those cores. But right now all the cores from the side of Monte are still ahead, mostly just thanks to Moonlight being not just super fat but also using that farm of his to create space in all 3 of the lanes, as he's now on bottom chasing down Mr. Luck. Quite unsuccessfully, but hey, doesn't matter, got farm, right? On mid lane, Wind Ranger gets caught as well with a Phoenix Egg. Nice swap from the Vengeful Spirit to keep her alive. LeBron still running for his life. There is the Centaur War Runner, level 6, but it's not gonna save Wind Ranger from the lasso, as Abaddon wants to get some revenge on that Bad Rider, but Bad Rider is able to get out of there in time. Instead, LeBron will be corrosive phased up. Abaddon trying to go for the save, but it is not gonna save anything. There is just 3 people grouped up. Abaddon now has the ultimate, will be fine for the time being. Molotov back, but with the shield, he is going to live for a while longer, as another corrosive phase gets thrown out on Abaddon. Now Bignum is corrosive phase. That means the Centaur, of course, has 0 mana. Another nice shield. Try and keep them contained under that tier 2 tower, as Monte finally gonna stop that dive. Didn't get an objective out of this, despite some nice little kills and a 4k gold lead for them. But the nice thing, of course, is they committed their Terrorblade in, as GeoZZ will get turned on by the Wind Ranger, but Wind Ranger won't quite commit up that high ground. Abaddon, however, will without problem. Silences the Phoenix, but Phoenix manages to teleport out and will heal up in the base. Great fight from Monte.
Yeah, Inferno's just doing so much work in these fights, man. This Slardar is just becoming a nuisance. And he's ready to just turn around again. Look at him.
Yeah, he wants to go with a little bit of protection being stacked up on top of him. That's that double Solar Crest. And you can't see whether it's 1 or 2 Solar Crests until you click the hero. So it's a nice way to play some mind games as well, to go double Solar Crest and just stack that on top of somebody.
I don't know if they stack. They stack?
The shield does. The shield does.
The shield does, but like the effect, like, you know, the attack speed and the move speed doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think they do, but the shield definitely does and the armor. So you basically do make somebody twice as tanky that the enemy can't tell if it's 1 or 2 on them, because
Right.
you still just see a shield until you do like the first hit. And just there he had 2 on him, so also like 14 bonus armor, and somebody like hit him and he just didn't care.
Probably hoping to catch a glimpse of him nude.
Obviously that timing isn't gonna last for so long, but I don't know, it's just huge to be able to make Slardar absolutely unkillable. Speaking of unkillable,
Oh? Who's
Slardar got a BKB queued up already, and he's approaching that at a really fast rate. So it looks like Monte do want to back off until they can double down on their offlaner a little more, farm up. Bad right now also taking all of these stacks he's made. Whereas over on the top lane, Centaur War Runner gets caught by a Nature's Prophet, and with one more right click is going to go down to that Urn of Shadows.
Looking at Bignum as that charge came out, but... Sorry, not Bignum, Mr. Luck, as that charge came out, but he couldn't do anything with the move.
Yeah, Mr. Luck this game around, he's having a lot more trouble finding that farm on his Abaddon. He didn't just have a free lane matchup against the carry he counters. So here he actually needs to bide his time as one of the slowest offlaners in the current patch. Meaning MarsBet, they just want to delay the game as much as possible. Luna is about to pick herself up a Manta style, which is going to help with delaying the game even more, as then she can send those illusions of hers down a lane.
That's Wish Undisturbed. After Maelstrom, we haven't seen a new item on the Wind Ranger, though. It seems Wish kind of slowed down just a little bit, as Inferno with a catch down bottom.
Nice jump, but Slardar should be able to get out. He's just being a nuisance, making some space for his team, making sure the Luna isn't farming either, as the mid tower is gonna go down, but it will be denied by the Vengeful Spirit. So at least the gold advantage isn't going to snowball out of hand even more for the side of Monte just yet. Monte, I'm kind of surprised that they have completely dropped the ball on all of that aggression, as
Ignore it.
Nature's Prophet
Ignore
broke a
it. Oh,
five-man
he found!
smoke, and yeah, now they figure where he is. He
They
tries to buy himself
knows.
some time with the trees, but
They knows. Oh,
not just support
wish,
life.
Middle tower is about to
wish
could've-
this with the serendipitous arrow, man. That was so funny. And then he's like, "Oh no, they know I'm here." Shit.
Yeah, he did break a five-man smoke and did create a ton of space though. However, that smoke wasn't intended to just catch a kill. That smoke was intended to go for this Roshan. And with a Luna and an Abaddon, it should be a really fast Roshan, as now that Curse comes through together with the Mask of Madness, and Luna just turns into a machine gun.
Man, Radiant does not like Dire's bottom tower, and it shows.
Four-man smoke from the side of Monte, who I think have a pretty good idea of what's going on still. They do ping the Roche Pit. Roshan, however, already almost dead, and that is going to be a dead Roshan for free.
Gotta question that title.
At least they confirmed it. And at the
MarsBet.
same time,
They still masterfully outmaneuvered Monte just there. Monte, not too pissed as Crystallize is farming. As long as the Terrorblade is getting this much space, you can never really complain. But with that Aegis, it's a 5-minute timer where Terrorblade just can't fight, can't really find that Metamorphosis timing, whereas Luna is already hunting with an Invis rune. And does scout out Infernal, who will be jumped on and is just dead.
oh, I doesn't even get to use that freshly found BKB.
Bottom tower, there's not gonna be a tower left.
Oh, the
Radiant's
best feeling.
middle tower is hanging on by a brick.
I mean, that's one way to deal with him though. At least he didn't waste the 9-second charge. So maybe he can still go for the big reveal play after he respawns.
Smoking rocks.
Though
Yeah,
until
man,
then,
he's already
Lucas...
seen it.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Radiant's middle tower is hanging on by a brick.
But did they really check the inventory, you think?
Middle tower, I have good news.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see
yeah,
him after death as well.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays you like see it after death too. So yeah, they should know that, making it even more annoying. As for the Terrorblade, he's gonna go Manta style. With the Manta style, he can then play the same game Luna is playing, where you just send your illusions down the lane, split push, be a nuisance that way. Right now, Monte aren't really having the amount of impact I was expecting from this draft, not gonna lie, especially with it being 7-4.
Looks like the Dire figured out where Radiant's top tower is.
Inferno going for the blink and the shard build. I absolutely approve. As it's quite patched right now, my friend Joe.
I agree, the Slytherin Crush buff is actually so powerful with the extra corrosive haze, because you can jump in and then immediately the Terrorblade can follow it up with Reflection, and the Reflection is gonna do so much freaking damage. So as long as he finds the angles to actually blink in, Clouder is gonna be huge. Crystallize, meanwhile, he will be getting that shard for free, which is a testament to the fact that Terrorblade still wasn't top of net worth there. He was behind the Bat Rider, who would have really liked the shard for himself, honestly, because the sticky napalm upgrade will just, you know, scale you really fast at the current game state. Centaur Warrunner is gonna get his shard as well. So that's gonna be another Blink Dagger plus shard combo where he's just gonna run around with a ton of strength from the double edge at every given fight.
Crystallize going for the butterfly next as Lucas. After the BKB also gunning for that item. Pretty standard TB versus Luna stuff, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Terrorblade I think is actually quite terrifying with the butterfly nowadays, because he scales so hard on attack speed. And the new butterfly, of course, gives high agility gain. Heroes a ton more of that.
Just trying to find that broken build that Monte could go for. But yeah, we need to get Moonlight involved somehow, and I'm guessing Monte are seeing that as well. It's currently goes for the Mate Slayer after the BKB.
Interesting. I mean, it does help him quite a bit against those Luna ultimates if he just manages to attack her once. But there is a full 3-man smoke gang with Luna being the bait of the meta. Okay, she's gonna get shared that smoke now as well.
I think Crystallize is definitely the main target, although yeah, Lucas is going straight, trying to follow the Firefly route. As they break from behind, Stampede, they can't make up their mind. They immediately jump into the Slardar pit. It's LeBron with the swap.
It's gonna be a dead Vengeful delivered to the Radiant jungle as well as Centaur Warrunner being killed off. However, in exchange for that, Nature's Prophet will just be nuked down as Luna dragged out of position. But that's the last 10 seconds of the Aegis, as the Aegis is gonna go pop. But they want the Luna twice, so they are gonna go for a huge Phoenix ultimate. Luna presses the BKB, gets shielded by Abaddon, manages to walk away. Still not the fight they wanted, but the Aegis mitigates so much there for the side of MarsBet. If their Luna had died for real, it would have been horrible for them.
Oh, so close to catching one of those cores. I guess Monte will take it. They'll be happy with this.
They can take over the Dire Triangle, make sure that Terrorblade gets even more farm from there, as his butterfly timing is gonna come out quite decently.
Yeah, he has money for Eagle Song, but opts not to get it just yet.
4-man smoke from the side of MarsBet once again.
Yeah, they're gonna conduct their own tier triangle invasion and investigation. Then comes Lucas as well, but only cold remnants of Crystallis.
For the most part, they
can be
want the
found.
Terrorblade. But yeah, now they're gonna instead commit onto a tier 2 tower, which, if they get the tower and it's as a whole, then that would be huge. With the Abaddon Curse and the Luna Aura, they should, and yeah, that's gonna be a tier 2 dropping in absolutely no time. Monte haven't really been advancing that gold lead of theirs, because Terrorblade is just such a hard hero to initiate with.
Radiant's middle tower is about to be a pile of smoking rock.
Mid, tier 2 getting obliterated with that curse and the Luna attacking for a bajillion.
Radiant's middle tower is gone. Lives on in our hearts.
That means only one tier 2 on the map left standing until this Terrorblade gotta be able to outfight the Luna. Which, honestly, I think is gonna be really hard, in part because of what you mentioned super early into the draft, where Luna just counters Terrorblade with her glaives.
Well, that butterfly could help. That butterfly could be the exact same thing that Crystallize is looking for. But let's wait until he gets his butterfly. And until that happens, I wouldn't be fighting Monte.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cast this curse, because if I say like, oh yeah, that butterfly is gonna be huge, then he's gonna be killed and his butterfly timing is gonna be all off.
Well, oh, when Lucas gets that butterfly is gonna be huge. JK. Obviously.
Well, I mean, Luna does scale a little bit harder on it later on, once she has a few more levels, a few more stats. Terrorblade, however, benefits right now, because he mostly needs the miss chance. He mostly needs that extra tankiness, and he is so close to getting it.
Wish I'd be close to getting anything. But down bottom, it's an amplified damage rune on Wish. I kind of miss that it's not a double damage rune now.
Yeah, amplified damage sounds so weird. I mean, the balance, yeah, I get it, don't get me wrong, but they could still call it the double damage rune, no?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's not double damage, is it?
But amplified damage rune sounds so weird.
For sure. AD rune instead of DD rune. Ugh. This doesn't roll up a ton, does it?
Bottom tower is getting a
Maybe just make it a damage rune and you get a set amount of damage when you pick it up.
I think that could work, but what also works is Mr. Luck with the Curse of Awareness just pushing down targets now. These objectives are going down fast.
Don't look now, but
Knock
Radiant's
knock,
bottom
this is
tower
your high ground.
literally
If you don't defend this, Luna is gonna make fast work of those barracks. As the immortal range creep is just getting shielded up so much. All of a tier 3 tower, and now that everybody comes in to defend, they are just gonna run away and say, well, we're gonna farm your jungle, thank you very much for that space you gave us.
More than half of the damage of the tier 3 gone. They're basically a demolition crew. And as soon as that high ground breaks, we know what happens with the Glaives and the Luna.
Yep, Abaddon meanwhile only really starting to come online as he's still working on that Manta style, is looking to become that second carry. We saw what he did last game, so Monte realizing they need to do something, that they need to do it now. They smoke up 2 people. Aren't sharing the smoke though, and Bad Rider I think just went under ward vision. Yeah, everybody is retreating from there.
I do like the triple ward on the triangle coming out from MarsBet. They're just setting up themselves up for success right now.
It is really going to slow this push down, and Roshan, it respawns right after everybody checked out the Roach Pit.
Infernal.
Luna gets jumped, but there's the Vengeful swap. Luna manages to turn around with the Glaives, forces out the BKB from the Slardar. Abaddon now having to run away as the Terror Blade illusions are wreaking havoc. This time around, Roshan is up, and I think Monte have a good idea that it should be. As they're gonna walk into the pit, realize, okay guys, now it's up. We can't mess this up. They're all gonna smoke. There is still a 5-man smoke rotation underway from the side of MarsBet. I like how the Nature's Prophet is just waiting. He knows that there is somebody who's gonna come and try to initiate, but it's gonna be an instant stun onto the Centaur, who doesn't really manage to defend himself against the BKBs as Luna gets caught with the lasso. Though it's okay, it's gonna be enough eventually. Crystallize still hitting so hard with Metamorphosis. Wind Ranger kills off the Nature's Prophet, tries to run away, but in the end accepts her fate and power shots instead, as Vengeful Spirit will be killed off. And Abaddon, after having used that ultimate, not really anymore, he can get there as the Roshan will be going the way of Monte. This is the fight they have been waiting for. This is what they have been looking for all this time. Terrorblade able to sit on that high ground, make some illusions, and hit down from it for a ton of damage. This is the type of positioning they have been looking for every fight. And now that they finally find it, they get an Aegis, they get cheese, and we'll just be really happy with the rewards for that.
This is really, really good for Monte right now.
Dyer's top
Gonna
tower
have a long-lasting lead so far, but oh wait, bit of a catch in the jungle.
Moonlight gets caught. Harpoon is there. Terrorblade, why didn't you harpoon? Did they
You mean
change Harpoon
Abaddon?
to no longer be interrupting? Abaddon. Like, did they change it to no longer be interrupting? No, right?
I don't think so. I think it doesn't interact with interrupt channels still, but weird. He didn't go for it.
I guess I can get faster.
Well, Wind Ranger gets a haste rune once again, but Luna on the bottom lane has been caught with the Slardar stunning her up. Still running away. Lucas gets shielded for a ton now, and wants to turn around, can't quite get out of the Sprout. Will be able to survive the Nature's Prophet burst damage, as Nature's Prophet will be killed for that one eventually. Going down to Mr. Luck, as Slardar looking to hunt for more, will drag the Wind Ranger out of position, but the lasso breaks. Wind Ranger does an ultimate going on the Slardar, forcing him to run away. MarsBet, they end up holding everything here, despite that 8k gold lead on the side of Monte.
Interesting fight, and yeah, despite them going on to Wish, LeBron just easily surviving all this onslaught. Damage mitigation from the nether swap. It looks to work. It seems to be working.
Yeah, as long as they can use that on their course and actually don't have to swap right at the start of a fight just to prolong the Vengeful's life, these fights are looking clean. Monte, they really wish they could get some aggressive wards down, but right now they simply can't, and even the Terrorblade Illus that are being sent to push out aren't gonna scout that much. They see an Abaddon and don't really scout out where anyone else is. Because I still feel like Monte, with these 2.5 minutes remaining on the Aegis, they should be doing stuff, but in order to do that, you first need to find the enemy. You first need to have some vision, which all got dewarded recently.
Back to peaceful.
4-man smoke up from Monte. I mean, maybe they don't even need a kill from this gank. What they need the most with the smoke is that they end up getting some vision down and take back control of this map. Mr. Luck, in the meanwhile, will be given that Aghanim shard. Now everybody with that smoke.
Kind of want those pickoffs. Yeah, Curse of Avernus.
They'll find Infernal with the lasso. That's just gonna be a quick pickoff and a very dead Wind Ranger. Phoenix looking for more in the Abaddon. Wish does have an ult. Mr. Luck does have an ultimate, but without Wish, they are not gonna be able to do more here.
I'm not sure you can go high ground just yet, though. Maybe? Maybe.
They do have a Metamorphosis. How long on the Aegis? Over a minute.
They can
Yes,
try.
they can with Metamorphosis.
You can tell Dyer's middle
Where's
tower
Lucas?
from the way it's being
At the
destroyed.
very least, they're gonna force some kind of response out from this. Terrorblade having relatively free time, hitting the high ground so far, as Luna doesn't want to come back, has to come back now, but the tier 3 is already dead, and the Medirex may follow. Out comes that next fortification as Lucas is finally defending. Crystallize. Get swapped out of position. This is it. The Luna ultimate has been committed. Terrorblade presses the Mantle Style. Gets the Sunder of tanks to it. Luna still at half health though. While Terrorblade gets machine gunned down by the Wind Ranger. And will die to that skill shot from Wish. Phoenix delivering more damage. But most importantly tries to get out himself. Will do so. But his Nature's Prophet isn't gonna survive. And more importantly, the Medirex did live towards the end of that brutal fight.
It wasn't actually the Sunder, it was the cheese, but it was a valiant attempt from Monte, nonetheless. They still get the tier 3, all in all. But, yeah, this is the bad swing that the Luna is capable of, isn't she? Open up one part of your base, and she just goes there and starts right-clicking. Although Lucas didn't join the mid-offensive. We're gonna try it with Vish.
Well, Luna is keeping all the lanes pushed out, while the tier 3 is now only being Wind Ranger ulted, so the push is gonna be there in time until that Terrorblade respawns. I also think, sorry for that, I also think that, started trying to initiate, didn't quite get it there. Abaddon doesn't mind frontlining too much, really wants those racks to fall, but they are gonna be forced to back off. So yeah, I really think that the Terrorblade in the last fight, if they had a little bit more in the way of like a purge for him or something, one more purge, and he could have gotten an additional kill out of that, which of course isn't equal to winning the fight. But I don't know, I'm missing that Lotus, I'm kind of missing that late game throw it on him, because they give him a double Solar Crest, and it's nice and all, but that little bit of extra tankiness isn't really going to prolong his life for that much anymore. So having something that actually scales like that Lotus Orb seems like a really nice upgrade for the Terrorblade in order to keep him alive, and maybe then that raid boss can stand his ground the next time he gets jumped by the Luna.
Yeah, just an extremely quite a methodical game from both sides. As late game builds, they are coming out slowly but surely. But I kind of want to see a Lotus on Monte for sure. You know, throw back the shackles, throw back the loosened beam.
I feel like Crystallize needs it with that Manta style that he has queued up. He wants to go full damage from this point onward. So every bit of extra protection you have for him is gonna allow him to do so much. Even if it's just 2 or 3 extra right clicks he gets because of that hypothetical Lotus or even a Glimmer.
Aggression coming out from both sides is actually the Aghanim Scepter getting picked up on Moonlight. The next big item I was looking at. Goes easy going for the Refresher Orb, as he's almost halfway there. I'm getting it on the Phoenix. And yeah, Infernal just doing the work constantly with this Aghanim Scepter now. Also on the Slardar. But do you have to wait for the AC in order to get onto this high ground?
I think so. I really think so. You can get tier 2s if you play your cards right, if you get a good initiation going, but the high ground itself, it's reserved for that Assault Curse. At least from the side of Monte. Whereas MarsBet, all they need in order to go high ground is to win a team fight and have the Luna still alive at the end of the team fight. Terrorblade is going to get initiated on by the Slardar, but Terrorblade, I say, Abaddon, I mean. They're both blue, okay? As 4 people are gonna smoke up from MarsBet now. And yeah, it's been a tug of war trying to continuously get back the map in their favor, as both teams try to also keep control of the side of the map and the Roche pits, whenever Roshan can even begin to respawn. Smoke will be broken as 3 people are running as a group. Missed the stun on the Centaur War Runner. Lucas gets his illusions to try and do a little bit of pushing. Nature's Prophet, however, will be there to defend as everybody from MarsBet once again walks away.
They're just playing chicken. They're all playing chicken. Although there's only one chicken in the game, which is Joe's easy on the Phoenix, but
Dyer's top
The
tower.
Luna, however, has been doing like 100-something damage with just one illusion push from the Manta style, despite that being defended to the ranged drags. So keep it up, you get 1 lane of ranged drags. Just to force even more backward play from Monte, because Monte, they know full well fighting in advantageous position is how they win with this Terrorblade, and that's exactly what they're
oh, they
trying
look at Wish.
by taking over the jungle high ground, but
with the Aghanim Scepter turnaround.
wind range too damn fast. That thing has no fade time, and it's so powerful.
Is MarsBet? No, MarsBet can be looking for Block of Cheese, right? Oh, they don't have enough Lotuses for it. There's 5 on the Wind Ranger, but there's none on the base. Because that's where usually the boys pack it.
I don't think this game is gonna go long enough for the block of cheats. Though they definitely want the next Roche. And there's the initiation attempt from Slardar once again. In comes 2-man lasso. Try and deal with that, but the claims are bouncing from the Luna still. Now finally the Vengeful Spirit has been killed off, and that's gonna be the first casualty of the fight. As Bad Right is trying to keep everybody there. But the Phoenix ultimate has been used and has been backed off from successfully MarsBet. Do they want to turn around? The Roshan hasn't respawned yet, but they don't know that.
Roshan wants another minute.
Will catch the Phoenix as the rest of his team have already teleported out. Jozizi on the run, but will be caught up on by the Wind Ranger, and rat-a-tat-tat, down he goes. Roshan can now be bottom lane, so the pursuit, I think it has to happen here, which is exactly what Terrorblade is counting on, with that Metamorphosis still active, camping right next to that portal.
Oh, they're here with Infernal. Let's see it. Let's turn up first.
Will be caught, though he does have that ultimate. Is there backup coming in time? Wind Ranger is there. Will try to keep the Terrorblade on lockdown with the stun from Bignum coming out.
Oh, no Sunder.
Now the lockdown is there from the Bad Right once again with a beautiful double lasso, but he doesn't quite get them early enough into the team fight as Slardar gets one return kill, but has to run for his life together with Jozizi now, as Mr. Luck wants another one, will get another one for Lucas there. Lucas gets himself a double kill. This Luna 5 slotted, 6 slotted is now gonna replace the boots, whatever. Luna is turning into an absolute beast, and they are gonna get her, or maybe even that Abbott in a second life. Or Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger currently has an empty slot.
I think either or. This banner is really good for their push. Which they are cutting waves with the Manta illusions on top of everything. Oh crap, the game just bugged out on me for a second there. But yeah, with I think this is the first time I've seen someone going through the twin gates but a successful attempt, you know, of passing through and not losing that many casualties. Bignum as on a support, but at the same time, you know, taking out 4, I believe, because we did see a buyback on Eknart.
All thanks to the Abaddon serving as an excellent vanguard there with both his shield and his ultimate available. Terrorblade is about to respawn, so I wonder how much tier 3 push they can really get out of this one with the Luna. Not really wanting to commit just yet. But there is a lot of time on the Aegis. They have 4 minutes to do whatever the hell they please.
It was actually a buyback on the Phoenix, so a dieback on the Phoenix here as LeBron finds the gold chest laid in the jungle of Monte.
What he just says in the all chat. Yeah, what indeed. Well, a lot of gold, that's what. As the tier 3 the Rex are gonna fall first. They want these Medirex finished. And with the Abaddon Curse, it's gonna be absolutely fast. Luna will be jumped for that, gets blasted out of position. That's gonna be Luna's first life.
Pretty deep, and there's a supernova as well.
Hurricane Pike is ready. Lucas, can he even activate that? Okay, there's a swap instead. Luna is gonna live. LeBron will take the death for that one. As long as Mr. Luck survives, as his ultimate will run out. Mr. Luck still doing fine, tanking for everything thanks to that Monte style. Out comes the Luna ultimate, looking to turn the fight around perhaps even. Mr. Luck looking to run somebody down, but Terrorblade doing so much down from the back lines. There is the ultimate on the Abaddon once again, as Abaddon tanking all of that to the face. It's gonna be full health once more, trying to turn around onto the Slardar as Centaur Warrunner comes in, keeping them all at bay. Mr. Luck ticking lower and lower though, as the Wind Ranger has another ultimate for the Terrorblade. Terrorblade gets stunned and gets bursted down by the Wind Ranger. Beautifully played there.
Buyback available, but no metamorphosis for 80.
Abaddon traded for the Terrorblade, so it could have been a lot worse for Monte. But MarsBet, they prolonged the team fight time and time again with the Luna Blaze just harassing everybody low health. All the while Wind Ranger was just waiting for that next Altar first to come online. They hid the fight for 30 seconds just in order to win it. Beautifully played.
Oh, Lucas.
Gets jumped on, but with the Wind Ranger doing a lot of damage, it's kind of a scary situation as Infernal will already have gone down while
oh my god, the glaives!
Can't escape the glaives either. The Aegis Prophet gets saved by the smoke, but the Rex won't be, and now it's down to one more lane of Rex to push. Who needs Aegis? Luna has BKB ready in 5 seconds, and they are just hitting so hard. Here we go, tier 3 Demolition Derby. Tier 3 falls, Slardar jumps straight into the glaives. Luna still frontlining without a care in the world. Now gets lassoed, but there's the swap from LeBron. Once again, LeBron dead. So now they're gonna have to back themselves off. Lucas will just be BKB TPing, says goodbye to everyone. Maybe making enough space for Bignum to get away, though Bignum has that true sight on him revealed. Will load storm himself to try and stabilize. Centaur Warrunner though eventually gets killed off. I mean, they got the Luna out. It could have been worse, it could have been better.
Wish?
Oh, what? Oh my god, the turnaround from the Wind Ranger.
He leaves the gem there, but it's still easy kill on Infernal.
Doesn't matter, got the kill that matters.
And that's a dieback on the Slardar as well.
I think they know, yeah. Lucas immediately wants to start pushing the mid lane again. Terrorblade illusions. At this point, they're just free farm as long as there's more than one, so the glaives actually bounce.
In MarsBet, we're looking so good, all the way until that Roche fight. Now it's time for desperation moves, I guess. There's only one more Rax. MarsBet needs to push down.
They're not that desperate yet if they could see the money, but I do think they're kind of scared of Crystallized at this point.
I think the fact that you're so close to getting Megad is the scary part. As Moonlight.
Out comes the BKB from Bat Rider. Nice clip onto the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit will swap the Bat Rider up that cliff though, as Luna casually 1v3s that and GG's get called. Abaddon doesn't even need the ultimate there, as all he really needs is to throw that Soda Crest and Aquatic Shield on the same person at the same time, and it is beautiful.
Oh, they got wrecked in their own triangle, and it's a beautiful play from MarsBet. 22 to 22 at the end score there with a 19k net worth lead. I mean, 47 minutes of that, but honestly, it was very articulate. How should we say?
I think MarsBet at some point they just realized how far the Luna was actually ahead, and from that point onward they were like, screw it, we take that fight right now, no pussy, and they managed to make it through. They had enough health pools on the Centaur and the Abaddon to just keep their Luna safe while all those glaives were bouncing, and the beautiful thing of course is you only need the one fight like that in order to pull through, get that advantage. Wish on the Wind Ranger, I think he's shown in a great way why that hero is so detestable, because he had absolutely no farm. He wasn't doing that well until the point way past where mid laners are supposed to come online. But by that timing, Wind Ranger still did her job, just because she has so much damage built in from the ultimate. And even when Wind Ranger was like 4th or 5th in net worth, the impact was still there from Wish. So I see why the hero is getting more popular after the buffs. You don't need farming speed if you have that hero damage and a really nice 2-man stun.
Yeah, let's be honest here. I think in my eyes it's still the Luna. So like Lucas Luna was basically the MVP of this game. But of course, without LeBron's help, those swaps, it would have been a way different game that we were looking at. But all in all, I'm quite happy with the series today. Early finish, early day, you know, 2-0s, 2-0s all around. I guess we are now the official pair of Crash Roni and Permasneeze. They used to be like the 2-0 caster curse pair, but now I guess it's us, Joe.
Guess we gotta team up more often, because honestly yesterday I had like 10 hours of uninterrupted Dota back to back, as every series would go to a third game and then people would try to play those really farm heavy delay kind of strategies as well. So I'm honestly kind of happy with the fast games. The 2-0, especially in the first series, I find really sad because the Alchemist just couldn't pop off. Otherwise, you know, series number 1 would have made for a beautiful game number 3. Whereas in series number 2, I think Monte are the team kind of just lacking insight into the new meta, as MarsBet outdrafted them in game number 1 and game number 2. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. It wasn't so much down to the Abaddon this time around. It's like you said, Lucas was the MVP on that Luna, but the Abaddon still did a lot of the heavy lifting until Luna could come online. Yeah, altogether with that, we're finished for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching. That's it for today. And we will be seeing you all tomorrow when Duda, you got 3 best of 3s ahead of you as solo cast. So tomorrow it's gonna be a long one.
Well, we'll see if it's solo. I might bring in someone, but it should be a fun day. Should be a fun day.
I can help out during the last series, that much is for sure. I'm not sure about the rest of the day.
Nah. We'll talk about it later off stream, but for sure, MarsBet versus Monte. Go.
Fast forward a year or two, friends have changed, but so can you. So can you.